some kind of bizarre feature, mid-range specs, close to $1,000. This seems like the formula for money right now with the smartphone market. I'm Rayo Jian and welcome to the channel. Gotta love that beautiful Snapdragon 765G and its partner in crime Adreno 650, because apparently if you have around $1,000 burning a hole in your pocket and you want some kind of quirky phone with interesting feature, then welcome to the marketplace and welcome to the LG Wing. You get 8 gigs of RAM, which is honestly a good amount because I don't think you would be multitasking so much or you would need more RAM than this. Then again, that swivel screen, you probably might need more. Well, if this thing becomes successful enough in the market, then I'm sure they're gonna make more variants of this device. Here's something interesting. Both screens are 1080p, 60Hz refresh rate, so you're gonna have to be okay with that if you want the features from this phone. For storage, you get a choice between 128 gigs and 256 gig, but you get that micro SD expansion, which is a good feature. Now, only if you get flagship specs and that under $1,000 price tag, and now I'm in. I am totally in. Sadly, you don't. So, oh well. Then again, if you don't play games or use the phone in any way that you would want the flagship specs, then I think this is fine because most people can't tell the difference during the day-to-day use anyways, because they just can't. What they do is use that swivel screen to start conversations, because I know I would. Just for that, I guess it's worth the price tag. Also, this boy is thick AF with 6 C's because the weight is 260 grams. Damn. Phones are getting so freaking heavy nowadays. I think my Note 9 ever breaks, I'm just gonna get an S10 Plus and call it a day, because that's the only phone that still has flagship specs for the time and remain light. For the primary camera, you get a 64 megapixel, the secondary is 13 megapixel ultra wide, the third one is a 12 megapixel ultra wide. So what does all of this mean? A lot of numbers. An okay camera. It's most likely what it is. I seen this 64 megapixel a lot from videos and sample. It looks good, like Instagram story or small YouTube clip hoping to go viral good. So if you're someone hoping to go viral to make that sweet YouTube ad revenue, then yeah, you probably might want to check this phone out. As well as the millions of other phones that pretty much use the same camera. So you have that going for you, which is nice. The front camera is 32 megapixel sensor, so in theory you can probably take pretty good selfies and hopefully do vlogs if that's your thing. Actually, that's not a bad idea if the gimbal mode works with the front facing camera. Now that I think about it, I'm actually pretty interested in the gimbal mode because, I mean, you pretty much hold the phone like a gimbal, and the cameras work together to crop in the video so that they would calculate how the phone's turning. It would actually be pretty okay if you want to do vlogs with this phone, at least in theory. You get 4000 milliamp, which is a good size considering the chipset, screen size, also the refresh rate isn't that high. So in theory, this phone should be pretty good for the entire day, unless you're using the camera aggressively or playing intense games or something that if it's just regular day-to-day use, then I think people should do fine with lasting throughout the day. There's a quick charge 4 Plus, which is nice, but for me ultimately not needed because I'm the type of person that charges their phone at night and call it a day. But wireless charging is nice because in case if you forget your charger, you can always put it on those charging pads and tables or cars or whatever it is that has Qi wireless charging. Okay, so the price is around $940 after the conversion, so it's a matter of time if you're in the US and want to buy at least I think they would make it in the US because I think at this price, it's not that bad considering it's a dual screen phone. Then again, if you're lucky, you might get something like the Samsung Fold 1 in used condition. That one's got last year flagship, so the question is this year's mid-range last year's flagship? If you guys are more knowledgeable about that, comment down below, let me know. Personally, I feel really bummed that $1,000 is now a price for mid-range because that's really asking too much. For people that want flagships, I think you're expected to go beyond 1K. Some even go for 2K, which is getting out of hand. If you think about it, let me know. Do you think this is fair just due to inflation? Or are you the type of people that are nah, this is way too much money? Anyways, subscribe, hit the bell, click the bell, more content. You guys stay awesome.